in either. Lots of cars around the boundary, too deep in some parts, which is good to see. Some kids over on the hill. And plenty of bodies up inside these magnificent new club rooms here at Brighton as well. So Kingborough, scratchy form, only won 2 of their past 5. Coming off that last up loss to Glenorchy, that team that they are in a battle with for that 4th spot. They'll be hoping to rectify things this afternoon against a Brighton team that, as mentioned, is yet to get a win on the board in season 2025. But who knows what today might bring. Players making their way to their positions. Tyler Carter to take the opening ruck tap for Kingborough. Darcy Gardner lining up in there as he does each and every week for Brighton. Lockie Clifford for the Tigers as well, the incoming playing coach, replacing Trent Bormala from next season. Kieran Lovell going all the way to the goal square. So the Tigers kicking to the left of screen, Brighton to the right. And we're away here at Thompson Oval. It's Carter that won the tap, and it'll be Harnwell here with the first clearance for the Tigers. High ball towards right half forward. Contest, nobody able to take it cleanly. Numbers at the ball, still at right half forward. In Robin's hands now. Nuss come away with it. They work it back into defence. Piercing kick is good. Meadows takes it on his chest, and they can get something moving now. Risky sort of a kick through the middle of the ground on a Bierman. They're in a spot of bother. They might be able to make amends here, but a good one-on-one battle was Howard with Parker. They see it over, so little win there for Kingborough. Forcing it over the line. In it comes. Rucks go at it. Able to get a clean handle on it. It's going to be all wrapped up once again. Quick whistle from the umpire, which is what we like to see. Says, "I'll have it, please." It goes Meadows once more. Beautiful tap. Kick smothered. Brewer doing the business on that occasion. Getting through was Bresenchak. Back to Brewer. Tumbles one inside 50 now for the Tigers. Hitting it at pace was Harnwell, unable to gather it cleanly. Eventually comes away with the footy and cuts a bit of a path. Gets onto his left boot to the top of the goal square. Knocked away. Oh, beautifully roved, and a wonderful finish to start things off. Joey Brewer read that to perfection. Off hands, snavelled it and converted. Tigers on the board. Brewer has the first. 1 straight 6. Go Kingborough. So good piece of play. It was set up by Harnwell on that left half forward flank. Just was clean and able to evade a couple of tacklers, get onto his left and put it into a really dangerous spot. Joey Brewer put the exclamation point on the end of the sentence. So first blood Tigers, controlling the footy again out of the middle. Kick to half forward, going back bravely was Monks. Couldn't quite reel it in. Ball in contention. Little kick forward here by Kane of the Tigers. Lovell got there. Didn't quite reel it in. It was tackled. There's going to be a free kick here. It's going to go the way of Lovell. Got one high. Looks like the direct matchup. This is a man who you don't want to light a fire underneath. Kieran Lovell, one of the best players in the state, lines up for his first of the afternoon. He's just pushing it to the right, and it'll be a minor score. So unable to convert is Kieran Lovell, who kicked 3 goals against Brighton last time at the Twin Ovals. Started out of the goal square this afternoon. So ball in defence as Evans Fenton marks on his chest for the Robins. Looks to flare things wide. Misguided kick though. Brewer gets in the way and chops it off with ease. Runs his full measure. Tries to spear one into the left forward pocket. Unable to hit a target. Still alive here though for the Tigers. His handball again been prominent early, as is this man Brewer. Handball was broken up. Eventually knocked over by Williams, and we'll have a ball in right where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary line. Kingborough 1-1-7. Leading Brighton. Yet to score. Early stages. Meadows got to the front, uncontested, slapped it on the boot, but it slews off the side and goes out of bounds on the full. Probably had a little bit more time than he thought, did Meadows. Got straight out of the ruck and had time to steady, but nothing doing. Here's Godomski. Plays on immediately. Kicks again to a dangerous spot. Big fly over the back, unable to be taken. Here's Lovell, and that's what he does. So clean. Only needs half an opportunity. Missed out a little earlier, but he's on the board now. Kingborough have their second. Lovell has his first. They have the first two of the afternoon. So 2-1-13 go the Tigers. Brighton yet to score. Kieran Lovell on the board. It's his 12th goal of the season. In fact, it's his 10th. It's his 10th goal, I should say. And his 12th game of the year. Chance now for the Robins. Their first foray inside forward 50. Right at the bootlaces. High ball. Deep to the top of the goal square. Lamb came out at it. He was the target. Clearing kick out of defence would be no good. Jugwood mark is completed by Mason Whitney. So can the Robins produce something from this little attacking foray? Whitney has it right in front of our broadcast spot. I wonder if he's got the leg. Here's Whitney. Deliberate approach, set sail with the right boot, curling in on goal. Not a bad effort at all, just missing to the right-hand side. The Brighton Robins are on the board. Mason Whitney registers a behind. Margin at 12. Kingborough 2-1. Brighton 1 behind as the Tigers bring it out of full back. Lovely kick to Riley Ashland, who presents and marks. Short ball is good. Brewer has had 6 or 7 disposals very early in this game. That's a pretty good one too. Spears one to Parker, and he goes inboard. Kane wheels around. Tigers move it quickly. Sloppy old ball inside 50. Robins with work to do though. Beerman got there and just trapped it, laid an egg, and umpire arrives on the scene and says, I'll have it. Ball up, 40 metres out from the Kingborough goal. He's Harnwell, who's been prominent early. Robins will come away with it though. Waller through hands. Kick out towards the outer side. One-on-one contest. Eventually it's Brereton that sees it out. We'll have a ball in on the outer side of the ground. 13 degrees the top. Here in Brighton, there's a free kick here. Which way will this go? In fact, it might be a recall of the ball in. Umpire out there. Junior operator, it looks like. Good to see him having a crack. That's a little better. Meadows gets to the front, takes it out of the ruck and slaps it on the boot. Up and under, it'll work. Nice mark taken by Salter. Salter gets to left half forward. Puts the Robins inside 50, but wasn't much of a kick in the end as Code gets across and takes the defensive mark. He's got Godomski on a cross goal. That's where he goes. And he had a short option in Stevenson. He went a little longer in the end. Here's Knighton. Stevenson eventually gets used. That's a nice kick. They're picking them apart here, the Robins. Clifford got it off to Brereton. Inside 50, they go again. Carter was the target, knocked away though. Good defensive work. Over for a boundary throw-in. About 30 metres around from Kingborough's goal. Just in front of the scoreboard that reads 2-1-13 to the Tigers. Brighton 1 behind. 2 goals to the good here, Kingborough. Tumbling ball now towards the Kingborough goal line. Mopped up by Monks, who just slaps it on the boot. It was laced with risk. They'll get away with it though, the Robins. Out of defence they come. Kick ahead to a one-on-one. Might have been a little bit of holding, but it didn't matter. De Beerman, who took the slips catch mark very impressively. Inside 50 they go. Lamb direction, just getting in the way at the last moment was Young. The 2 leading goal kickers for this club. Just spoiled their own party, but all's well that ends well. Lamb and Young just tap hands and say, don't worry about it. Ball spills to the outer side and we'll have a ball in. That might have to be redone again. The young fella just getting his bearings. Again, a little bit better. Knocked down, Young. Through hands now, Robbins. Kick inside, it looks okay. Can they take a mark? Unable to. It was Morgan, but he recovered really well. Got onto his left boot, and a little kick was very, very nice indeed, but it was a push out. So Lamb, his first chance goes begging. He's been super impressive this season. There's Lamb with 23 goals from 12 games. Kicked 6 the last time these two teams met and was a genuine problem. Tigers ball though, good fly from the back from Evans Fenton, but holding on was Brewer, equally as impressive, and that's a beautiful kick into the middle of the ground where Clifford awaits, spots something he likes up ahead, and why wouldn't you kick it to that man Tyler Carter? Big and strong, and with very, very sure hands, he takes the mark. He'll kick for Kingborough's 3rd, and his 1st of the afternoon, 35 metres out directly in front. So Tyler Carter, 3rd in the league leading goal kicker stakes with 32 majors this season. Looks okay off the boot. Umpire had to shuffle across a little bit, but he does enough and gets his 1st of the afternoon. 3-1-19 go the Tigers. Robbins 1 behind. Tyler Carter with his 1st of the afternoon. It was set up by Brewer, who's been very, very good early in this one. Brighton got a win in the D-League a little earlier. 31-point victory over Kingborough. It looked very good indeed. So the future bright in this part of the world. So the Tigers skip out to an 18-point advantage. Another chance here. Harnwell with a nice slicing ball towards half forward. Unable to complete the mark was Watt. Robbins will come away with it. Outstretched hands. Meadows fed it up. Inside 50 they go. Bailey the target. Brought it to ground. Went and followed up his work. Kept his balance. Did pretty well to regather the footy. Might have been legged. Might have been holding the ball. Umpire said neither. Play on the call. Here's Lovell moving it onto the ball. They share it through hands here, the Tigers. Harnwell back to Lovell. Another touch. Left foot ball is exquisite, not quite, to Clifford. Just over his hands, but there's reinforcements. Clifford will get there eventually. Quick handball out. Slick hands from Clifford. Knighton now. Inside 50 they go. And here's Ashland who takes the mark. So they're looking super dangerous whenever they enter the forward 50 of the Tigers. Riley Ashland, a very, very good player indeed. 10 goals for the season for Riley Ashland. It's for number 11, and another one just pushed out to that right-hand side. There's no real breeze to speak of, it has to be said. Coincidental misses so far. So a behind registered, margin out to 19, 3-2-20 the Tigers. Brighton just the one behind, kick beyond defensive 50. It's a nice mark taken. Robins hoping to just control some possession here. Lewis Johnston comes back into defence where Monks awaits. He's going to go a little further afield. Williams, and then next in the chain will be Waller. Haven't progressed the footy very far. He just finds a little hole of space, and Watkins provides the lead and takes the mark. He moves things to Evans Fenton. So in the long sleeves, pumps it up the line to a pack. Target was Young. Stripped of the footy on that occasion was Code. Good tackle laid by Darcy Gardner. Hasn't had a great deal of it in the early stages. But he gets a kick here and holding the ball, free kick. Nice, to the top of the goal square. Young was the flyer, got hands to it, couldn't quite bring it down. Now Brereton tries to bust his way through 3 Robins and was very, very ambitious indeed. He's ripped to the turf. And this will be the Robins' first meaningful shot on goal. A chance for their first of the afternoon. Fletcher Salter. Let's fly. Looks very, very good indeed. Salter gets Brighton's first. And they're on the board. 3-2-20 the Tigers. 1-1-7 go the Robins. Good forward pressure. Marty Brereton probably liked that one back. Just tried to bite off a little more than he could chew. And it's Salter getting it done. So into the middle we go. Another chance here for the Robins. Young flicked it over to Gardner. And on the outside in Hayden, just lost the handle momentarily. Had to go and get it. A little indecisive. Back to Young. They worked this out okay. Oh, Gardner spent it before he had it. They had a real chance to go inside 50 again, but all's well that ends well because they got another chance here. Evans Fenton into that direction. Bailey. Outside of the boot kick to the top of the square. Nicely done by Lamb, but he was unable to find the target. Broke a tackle and had a flying shot on goal, but it's across the face and out on the full. So Kingborough ball, Clifford receives. When in doubt, kick it to this man, Kieran Lovell. He's got options on the near side of the ground. One of them was Brewer. Now they can get things moving. The other Brewer. Inside 50. Go the Tigers. Brought to a halt. Here's Monks at the bottom of the pack and umpire arrives. 3-2-20 the Tigers. Leading Brighton 1-1-7. Here's Gardner starting to get involved now. Just squirts one wide to Evans Fenton. Still inside D50, the Robins. Up the line he goes, looking for Hayden. And fist came across from Godomski. Stayed in play, Brewer. Another touch for him. Kick inside 50. Knocked away. Still alive. Across the face it goes. This might favour Ashland, it does. So something out of nothing. Not sure that ball was deliberately squared, but Riley Ashland, right place, right time, gets back and takes a nice mark on his chest, and he can kick for his first of the afternoon. Already had one shot, missed it to the right-hand side. Another chance here to stretch this lead. Leans back on the kick, does Riley Ashland. This time he barely registers a score. It's to the left. And it's a minor score only. 3-3-21 go the Tigers. 1-1-7 the Robins. As they bring it in. Beyond defensive 50. Nice mark, Lamb. A long way from home. The short option here. Hayden marks in front of the benches. He's going to kick up the line. It was just off the boot. Lamb almost was fortuitous, but not so. Harnwell, Clifford, handball, back to the voice of Kane. Short ball inside, barely the 15. Godomski plays on anyway. Kick to right half forward now for the Tigers. Nice mark taken by Ashland. Cruising past his Brewer. And right where he needed to be was Lovell, who marks in the left forward pocket. Really busy early. Wheels around as Lovell. Has he put it through? I think he has. Shelling peas for the little champ. And he kicks his second of the afternoon. Second of the quarter. Does Kieran Lovell. And that's Kingborough's fourth of the afternoon. And some of the real prime movers for the Tigers. Very, very busy indeed. Clifford, Brewer, Godomski and Lovell on the end of that one. 4-3-27 go the Tigers, leading Brighton 1-1. It's a 20-point margin. 20 minutes gone in this first term. So Lovell with his second of the quarter. He started forward. That's where he remains. Come up the ground a little earlier, but he's dangerous wherever he plays. Gardner starting to get busy, feeds it back. Oh, good mark taken. So Salter with the little fly at right half forward in the Lamb direction. Doesn't take the mark, but brings it down, then just brushes one. Back to Salter. Ground grubber. Might have been high. I think it was. So Gardner to get the free kick here. And you get the instant reply. Darcy Gardner, star on baller for this team. And a very good player, don't you worry about that. 5 majors on the season. Darcy Gardner, just inside the paint of 50. Struck it pretty well. Struck it very, very well indeed, did Darcy Gardner. They get the instant response to the Robins, their second of the afternoon, via their gun rover. Darcy Gardner gets his first, his 6th of the season. Very nice finish indeed. 4-3-27 go the Tigers. Brighton 2-1-13. 14 points the difference. So back in the middle we go. Young and Ashland contest things. Clifford. Inside 50 of the Tigers. Good defensive mark. Monks has been pretty good early. Short ball is on. That's where he goes. Morgan takes the mark. And just hangs it in the air a little bit, but it's okay to Gardner. And they come out to the near side of the ground once again. One-on-one contest. Off hands. Bringing it to ground was Bierman. Wetton got it. Missed the handball. Has to go and find it again. Lovell come crashing through. Threw it up in the air. Still fighting for their lives here. Are the Robins through Morgan. Spills out the back eventually. Griggs. Now Lovell. Back to Griggs. Just being pressured into their defensive half. Brereton forced a kick on the outside of the right boot. Gardner waited underneath, but the fist came and knocked it over. Pretty good little contest unfolding here. Kingborough on top early, but Brighton up for the fight. comes. Meadows and Ashland contest, some holding going on. This will be a Brighton free kick. Gardner just bust through, got rid of Lovell, took the advantage and put the Robins inside 50 once again. Here's Bailey. Might have got a high one. He did. So getting to the footy first in the last couple of minutes, the Robins, and earning themselves a couple of free kicks. Wonder if he fancies himself. Not an easy kick from this angle. Tyron Bailey. Let's fly. Never really looked like it. In fact, he won't register a score. So they had a couple of chances this afternoon. Have the Robins converted a couple and missed a couple. Tigers in possession. They move it outside of their defensive 50. They need to put some time and work into this man Brewer. Releases a man on the outside, and within 2 kicks they're deep into attack, but that one's misguided. Monks gets back and takes another good mark. He's been really good so far this afternoon as Monks uses Young by hand. Short ball good. Here's Meadows. Still inside D50 on the Robins. They trail by 14. To the outer side he goes. Flying from deep. Good spring was Bierman. Managed to bring it down to ground. Here's Jacoby Bone flying through. All locked up on the outer side. Ball up. Up it goes. Knocked down. Straight into the path of Tremaine. Scramble after it. Tremaine goes in again. There's Bierman once more. On hands and knees. Robins with the numbers. I'll come away with it. Here's Tremaine. A third touch for him. Happy to just concede, and probably a wise decision. Evans Fenton, but he's run down. This took a little longer than he should have. And now the Tigers on the counter. Handball was missed. But they're still alive. Tyler Carter now, top of the goal square. Lovell in a one-on-one. Too many smarts for Watkins. And Lovell completes the mark. Go back and kick for a third in the term. So should have no problems from here, Kieran Lovell. No problems whatsoever. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. That's his third major of the quarter. And that is Kingborough's 5th. And they're just starting to open things up a little bit here at Thompson Oval. 5-3-33. Brighton 2-1-13. 20 points the margin deep into this first term. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Round 14 actions, Southern Football League, Premier Division. Lauderdale out to a 2-goal lead over Glenorchy down at Lauderdale Oval. And North Hobart leading Clarence by a goal at North Hobart Oval. Inside 50 here go the Robins. Lamb just worked underneath it. Godomski goes and fetches it. Eludes the Meadows tackle. His kick's no good though. It'll be chopped off by Evans Fenton. Man inside 50 in Young. Made him work for it though. It wasn't a great kick. Comes to ground. Harnwell brushes a couple and now just gives it to big Tyler Carter, who's a long way from home. Squeezes a kick to the near side. Nice kick into the middle. Tigers in possession. Running on goal. He's Knighton into a dangerous position. Knocked away. Still alive. Here's Lovell. Can he kick a fourth? Around the body he goes. Floats all the way to the line. And I won't cross. And I won't need to because Darcy Doreen's there to take the mark and put through a certain goal. And the 6th of the quarter for the Tigers. So Doreen, easy as you like from the top of the square. Point blank range, bangs it through. And that brings to a close this first term. One that was fairly well controlled by Kingborough. 6-3-39 the Tigers. Brighton 2-1-13. A 26-point quarter time lead. So the goal kickers for you before we take a short break. Kieran Lovell, the story. He kicked 3 in that first term. You wonder how many he might be in for this afternoon. Singles to Brewer, Carter and Doreen right on the siren. And for Brighton, it was singles to Fletcher Salter and Darcy Gardner. 6-3-39 the Tigers to Brighton's 2-1-13. Go quickly around the grounds. Lauderdale led Glenorchy 4-2-26 to the Pies 2-2-14 down at Lauderdale Oval. And it's North Hobart leading Clarence 4-3-27 to 3-3-21. So a couple of good games unfolding there as well, all with ramifications for the final series. A short break from here at Thompson Oval. We'll be back very, very shortly. Kingborough with the advantage at quarter time. Nothing doing. Here's Godomski. Plays on immediately. Kicks again to a dangerous spot. Big fly over the back, unable to be taken. Here's Lovell. And that's what he does. So clean. Only needs half a league leading goal kicker stakes with 32 majors this season. Looks okay off the boot. Umpire had to shuffle across a little bit, but let's fly. Looks very, very good indeed. Really busy early. Wheels around as Lovell. Has he put it through? I think he has. Shelling peas for the little champ. Darcy Gardner, just inside the paint of 50. Struck it pretty well. Struck it very, very well indeed. So should have no problems from here, Kieran Lovell. No problems whatsoever. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. So Doreen, easy as you like from the top of the square. Point blank range, bangs it through.
Would not touch a couch, a blow-up mattress, any of that stuff. Don't just leave it alone. Oh, it was shit. It was telling Joel. Joel, I cheated on it. Joel's ready to build you. He's got full security. They might have earpieces in behind. He's on the security now. I was saying careful. I said to David, he goes, grounded to a party. So he's like, I'm going to act like I really care so that it seems like the rest of the place is covered. then I think he spent about half an hour in the bar. For a long one. Oh, he's going to get his head kicked in. Like, very quickly. Even though it'll be like 9 o'clock and you're ready to go out. Saying, round to the end of the year, PlayStation taken away, Twitch account banned or something like that. He's streaming, he's losing money, revenue. I don't know. That's the first way I found out about this thing, so I don't know. But, my side of the story. Be bad enough for him to very obvious. He was hiding as much as he could, but then as soon as something would be let out.
$26 points the margin here at Thompson Oval at Pontville. Kingborough with the jump on Brighton, the home team, still searching for their first win of season 2025. And it was the Kieran Lovell show in that first term. 3 goals to the maestro, starting out of the goal square in that first term, and looks to be doing exactly the same thing in the second term. Some good footy from Brighton in patches during that first quarter, and Coach Paul Kennedy will be hoping that his team can lift and get out of the blocks quickly here in this second stanza. Into the middle we go. Bailey Gordon shares it with Tyler Carter. Kick towards left half forward is good. Tigers to pump it inside 50. Lovell's going to be lurking. He stayed down, might have got a shove. Fist came over the top towards the boundary line. Here he is, receives the handball. Tried to kick it over his head, it was smothered. Out of bounds and over for a ball in. Deep into attack for the Tigers. 6-3-39 leads the Robins 2-1-13. Last time they met, it was Brighton who kicked 6 goals in the first term to get out to an early advantage, and they were eventually steamrolled in the second half. It was a 62-point drubbing, but they led by 15 at quarter time and they trailed by 2 at half time. So they were in it for a bit. Here we go again, still inside attacking 50 for the Tigers. Here's Nuss for Brighton, clearing kick, but only as far as a couple of Tigers. Lockie Clifford, one of the guns of the competition. Misguided kick on this occasion though. Salter on his bootlaces, put his teammate in Gardner into a little bit of trouble, it's fair to say, and a pair of Tigers mob him and strip him of the footy. Holding the ball, inside 50 they go again. Brighton with the numbers here, can they figure it out? Knocked out. Hands and knees. It was Watt, little scrubber. Clean bowled Monks. He ends up with it eventually. He can use it by hand here. Waller just rushed into his kick a little bit, up the line. Good contest from Bierman. Really, really good bit of work here from Saavedra, who just brushed one and sliced it into the middle of the ground. Gardner took the mark and then found a man in Lamb, all alone in the goal square, and that is the Robins' best passage of the day. Take a bow, Jude Saavedra. Some brute strength, and what about the kick to Darcy Gardner? Could have blazed away too, Gardner, but Lamb gets on the end of it and kicks his first of the afternoon. He's 24th of the season, Max Lamb. Had a pretty good 2025, it has to be said. So Brighton get the first of the second term, 6-3-39. The Tigers, 3-1-19 the Robins. They bring it back to 20 points. Back in the middle, slap down. Another chance here for Brighton. Kick out to left half forward, but Tigers defence stands strong. Clifford the target here. He's going to have to wait for a kind bounce. He had to wait a little longer than he would have liked, but eventually it popped up and was able to get the handball to Kane, who goes inside 50. Oh, over the back. Too deep was Lovell. Got hands to it. Would have been something special. Couldn't quite hang on. Ball repelled. Clifford there. Knocked over. Ball in. Lovell with springs in his shoes. Doing it all at the moment. So right in front of our broadcast spot here. Meadows to the front. Nice bit of roving from Gardner. Tumbles it forward. Saavedra at left half forward. Just paddles it to his advantage. Clifford came in for support for the Tigers, and eventually they get it out of D50. Brewer on the end of this, and now Bailey Gordon, now Clifford. Some of their star players combining. Great kick into the middle of the ground. The mark was paid as Williams arrived a little late, but strong enough was Watt, who stood his ground and took a really nice mark. Inside 50 they go now. Monks just stripped of the footy. His handball straight into the arms of Kane, who finishes. Makes him pay. Does Henry Kane. And one little slip up was all it took. And the Tigers pounced. They get the reply, and it's back out to a 26-point advantage. 7-3-45 to 3-1-19. So a good finish from Henry Kane, who kicks an opportunist's goal. As we go back into the middle of Thompson Oval, Clifford goes in after it. Harassed, but eventually bobbles out to Bailey Gordon. Gets onto his right boot, kicks into the pocket. Going back, had to be brave, was Watkins, and he came flashing through and might have raised the elbow there on Riley Ashland. Got him high either way. A little enthusiastic, perhaps. Ashland will take a free kick here, 45 metres on a 45-degree-ish angle. Certainly kickable. Man on in the pocket if he wanted to go there in Archie Watt. Looks like he's going to maybe have a ping. Set sail. Very, very nice indeed. Sneaks it inside the right-hand goal post as Ashland drifts it back beautifully. Back-to-back goals for the Tigers. And Ashland, after having a couple of pings in the first term, missing one to the right and one to the left, gets on the board on this occasion. 8-3-51 to 3-1-19 now. A game high 32-point advantage to the Tigers early in the second term after Max Lamb kicked the opening goal of this second term. In the middle we go again. Meadows lays a big tackle on Carter, but he's strong enough to rip the footy up. He couldn't quite release it in time. The whistle came before Bailey Gordon could stream away. Gardner just flew past it, missed it, and it spilled out in his direction. Got a handle on it on that occasion. Fed it out to Williams. Inside 50, go the Robins. Oh, nice mark. Good mark taken, stretching over the top. Done some okay things this afternoon is Thomas Bierman. It's probably the best of them so far. Can he convert a chance 45 out, directly in front. And need this one to the Robins. So Bierman, steady approach. Crosses the little pane of 50. Sets sail. Nice looking kick. Beautiful kick. Beautiful finish. Well played, Bierman. A nice mark and a nice goal. And Brighton get the response that they were after. So just keeping in touch. The Robins, 2 goals apiece in this second term. At 3:51, plays 4-1-25. Margin back to 26 points. I wonder if we'll get a little spittle of rain as this afternoon progresses. It's looking a little grey and dreary overhead. Hopefully it stays away. Quality of footy's been pretty good so far, it has to be said. Here's Carter out of the middle for the Tigers. Misguided kick to half forward. Monks pounces on a loose footy. He's got a man in some space in Whitney. Just eluded him. They continue to move forward in a bit of a wave here, the Robins. Gardner, he beelined the footy, but the Tigers' defence stood up very, very well. Lovell, Clifford, short ball, middle of the ground. Tyler Carter went one way, then was big enough and nimble enough to go the other. Fed Harnwell, streaming through the 50, just threw his head back in frustration as soon as he kicked it. I'm not sure why, because it was a pretty nice pass. I'm not sure he meant it, but Knighton gets on the end of it. Takes the mark and will have a shot from close range, tight angle. Around the corner he goes and squeezes it home. So Harnwell, I think, was maybe having a flying shot on goal as he crossed the pane of 50. But he'll tell himself and he'll tell his teammate Jet Knighton he was always looking for him. All's well that ends well. A goal to the Tigers. Knighton gets his first of the afternoon and the margin back out to 32. 9-3-57. Plays 4-1-25. So 5 goals already in this second term. It's not a big ground here at Brighton, so you can expect some high scores, I suppose. It's been a pretty entertaining game as Hugh Williams gets himself into all sorts of mischief. Clifford sticks the tackle, doesn't manage to hit a target inside 50. Still alive here, the Tigers. On the outside, here's Parker. Might have just spent it before he had it. Went back and got it. Screws one to the top of the square. Cleverly knocked on. Cavalry arrives for the Robins. Here's Watkins on the fly. He's got a man in all sorts of space outside defensive 50. Darcy Gardner. Room enough to have a bounce. And he spies something he likes up at right half forward. It was Lamb. Big collision coming forward on Kadomski. Max Lamb coming through. And Kadomski just staying down for the moment. He was clobbered into by Lamb. Attacking the ball. He moves pretty quick, does Max Lamb, and he's got a few kegs behind him too. Gadomski just still on his haunches. I reckon he's had the wind taken right out of his sails. Just gingerly gets up, trudges back to his position. Meanwhile, we've got a ball up at right half forward. Here's Clifford. He's starting to get really busy for the Tigers as they work it through hand, through the middle of the ground. Nice ball forward, just over the top of the outstretched fingertips of Carter. Williams now for the Robins. They can launch something here, perhaps off half back. Bouncing ball to Hayden. He's going to retreat just momentarily. Back to Williams. Moves it up the ground to Bierman, who took that nice mark and kicked that nice goal a little earlier. Up towards the wing. Evans Fenton in possession. He's just going to bang it forward. Oh, it's a terrible, terrible kick. Zachary Evans Fenton, that's inexcusable. Out of bounds on the full it goes. So they give it up to the Robins. Flanagan into defence. Griggs. Across goal they go. Lovell. Receives from Brewer. He's had a ton of it. Harnwell read it best. Took the mark. Now they're away. Through the middle of the ground. Good kick. Great kick. To the leading Ashland. Surgical from the Tigers. So Riley Ashland 1 on the afternoon from 3 attempts. This for a second. Off the side of the boot. Missing to the right-hand side. So we could have had a little mini bag here, Riley Ashland, if he was kicking with a little more accuracy. Not to be. 9-4-58 go the Tigers, 4-1-25. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. SFL Premier League, round 14. Tigers need to win. They need to keep winning too. Monks. He's got options to the near side if he wants them. Oh, he just took his time, but it was okay in the end. Cody Morgan. Just a little undecisive here, the Robins. Allows the Tigers to get some numbers to where they need to be. Big fist over the top. Evans Fenton will arrive first for the Robins. Did he get one high? I said nothing doing. They come up with it though. Through Davey. Kick a little misguided. Chest mark was missed. Here's a chance. Salter. Flying shot on goal. Looks pretty good off the boot. Does it have the kind bounce? It does. So they move it quickly. They pick their way through. Maybe got a little lucky along the journey, but Fletcher Salter has provided a couple of highlights in this game so far. He kicks his second for the afternoon. And they get one back to the Brighton Robins. So back to a 27-point game. 5-1-31, trailing 9-4-58, midway through this second term. And their good has been really good. And they move the ball quickly and get it going. They've been able to score. But so have the Tigers. And here we go again, out of the middle. Inside 50, over the head of Bailey. Ball to be won at ground level. Not out of the woods yet here, the Tigers. Wouters, his kick is a shocker. And he's given the Robins another sniff here. Jonty Howard marks on his chest, and if he can nail this, it'd be 3 of the last 4 to the home team. Interesting. So Howard launches. Distance was absolutely not a worry. Just drifting to the left-hand side, a minor score only, but showing some pep here, the Robins. Good to see. 5-2-32, plays 9-4-58. So back to 26 points, which was the quarter time margin. Here's Brereton. Marks it, true centre-half back, kick into the middle of the ground. This is where they're really dangerous, the Tigers. Inside 50, long ball on goal, all the way to the line. Was it touched? It doesn't matter. Moves to the right-hand side, a minor score. And this ground, you can get things happening very, very quickly. Out of full-back comes Riley Davey. Nice mark taken by Young. Comes up the line, over the top, just out of the reach of Morgan, but he did pretty well to follow up with a nice tackle and split the contest. A ball up on true centre wing, outer side. Going after it. Clifford was definitely held without the footy and will receive a free kick. Here's Brewer, nice mark. with the flight. Probably been best on ground so far. So we can report Lauderdale's out to a 30-point lead down at Lauderdale Oval. 8-3-51, leading Glenorchy 3-3-21. And Clarence 1 point to the good over North Hobart, 6-4-40 to 6-3-39. Pocket pass into the pocket. Jet Knighton, who has 1 for the quarter, marks on his chest. Can add a second if he kicks truly here. So Knighton from about 45 metres out, 45-degree angle, right to the line. Young over the top, had a really big piece of it. Umpire didn't pay the mark. Carter goes in after it. They fight hard. Watkins goes to ground. Harnwell stripped of the footy, holding the ball surely. Umpire says yes. Good defensive pressure from the Robins, who will be able to clear here. Up the line it goes. In a Lamb direction, no problems whatsoever. It's Lamb on that left boot. Kicks to a contest. Flying over the top was Bailey, but roving it was Hayden. Got the hands off to Tremaine. Inside 50 they go, by hand. Tremaine will get it back. Can kick to a really dangerous position. Great ball. Saavedra. Marks on his chest. And if that was a deliberate pass, that was exquisite. So the Robins. Is to bring it back to a 21-point ball game. Jude Saavedra helped set up one a little earlier. He can kick his first for the afternoon here. Does he like it? I think he does. Flexes the bicep. That's a pretty sure sign. Teammates get around him. And Jude Saavedra gets on the board. So 9-5-59 the Tigers, Brighton 6-2-38. As mentioned, a 21-point ball game. Winning this quarter so far are the Robins. Making a pretty good fist of things, it has to be said. Let's see what the Tigers have in the chamber. Tyler Carter tries to brush one, tries to brush two. Almost bit off more than he could chew. Got his handball away though. Gordon in a little bit of trouble, but finds an avenue. Lovell on the outside. He's back in the middle. Spreads it wide. Clifford has some time to just poke a pass over the top, and it's a pretty good one. To the top of the square. That's a horrible kick. Getting back and taking the saving mark is Monks. Goes for a little gallop. Kicks to the near side. It's a 2-on-1. The one will have to be good. Wasn't quite in the contest as Clifford just sees it over, but they'll probably take that. The Robins. A ball in at right half forward for the Tigers. Hurled on in. Young got to the front, took it cleanly. Nice hands. They chain it up here. Spearing ball. That is very, very nice ball use by Evans Fenton into the lap of Bierman. To half forward. That's not so good. Ball in contention. Gardner puts a little shimmy on and then is absolutely mauled. Brought to ground. And it'll be a Tigers free kick. Griggs, the beneficiary, went to Lovell but had a man right on his hammer. They break it up here to the Robins. They work it through hands, but Morgan was under all sorts of Marty Brereton pressure, brought to ground. They've certainly tightened things up, have Brighton. In the ruck, here's Lovell, so clean. Fed the handball. High kick around the corner to half forward. Off hands, over again. 25.59, plays 6-2-38, entertaining contest. Kingborough on top, but Brighton giving them something to think about. Kick 3 of the last 4 have the Robins. Bresenshak, Lovell flashing through. Progress things by hand. Good tackle laid. Here's Saavedra again, starting to work into the game. Tumbler towards half forward, no good. Picked off. Chance here for the Tigers on the counter. Mark taken by Stevenson. Pivots in the middle of the ground. Goes deep inside 50. Packle form, fist over the top. First 2 at Evans Fenton. Couldn't quite gather it under his spell. Eventually taken over. Another ball in. Two minutes gone in this second term. Here it comes once more. Young to the front. Ashland roved it beautifully. Man on the outside in Watt. Gathered it and sent a high ball to the pocket. Kane underneath it, sliding. Couldn't quite reel it in. They track it over the line. It goes out. Another ball in. So fighting hard, this Brighton defence. Can the Tigers crack the nut? Just need a steadier. This is this Kingborough team. Carter and Young, Lockhorns, Gardner at the fall. His little slapdash kick only as far as Brewer. He goes inside 50. Oh, he made his teammate work, but he did very, very well indeed to take the mark. He had a couple of Robins to contest with. But this is just what the doctor ordered for the Kingborough Tigers. Kane's been pretty likely and pretty lively in this second term. He's kicked 1 so far. Can he add to his tally? They need this just to steady the ship a little. He's going to just sneak this in by coat of varnish. Henry Kane kicks his second. And just some breathing space once more for the Tigers. We've snapped the run. $10.5.65 go Kingborough. Brighton 6-2-38 deep into this second term. 27 points the margin. So they've increased their quarter time lead by 1. It's been pretty even in this second term. Kane, the other multiple goal kicker for Kingborough. Lovell still has 3, all kicked in the first term. Young shovels out a handball. Gardner on the end of it. Brushes a tackler. Gets onto the right boot. Sets sail for the instant response. That's what your guns could and should be doing. Darcy Gardner. Beautiful finish. He has his second for the afternoon. They just can't quite shake the Robins at the moment, this Tigers outfit. Margin back to 21. 10.5.65, plays 7.2.44. He started relatively slowly, did Darcy Gardner, but he's worked in very nicely to this game. Couple of goals. One of the star mids in Tasmania. Young again, a couple of Tigers fight after it. Bailey Gordon waited on the outside and gratefully received the handball and sent a high ball inside 50. Ashland couldn't quite reel it in. Hacked off the ground. This will work here for the Robins. Kind bounce here to Hayden. Handball a little sloppy, but okay. Young just stopped and propped, rode the tackle and then was stripped of the footy. They'll turn it over here, the Robins. Tigers will come away with it. Little kick over the head of Clifford. Brighton still alive. Kick out wide. Interesting decision, but it'll work. Evans Fenton. He'll go a little more direct. Inside 50. Young was the target. Bresenshak come over the top. Here's Clifford. Now Hartwell. Out to Bresenshak. Little fake, little dummy, but eventually broken up. Getting a hand in was Lewis Johnston. They're fighting after it. Good footy this. Stevenson now. Feeds it back. Clifford. Bresenshak. Back to Clifford. Now the bootlaces of Bailey Gordon. Taken off the footy. Umpire said play on. Brighton have the numbers. We're at half forward. Saavedra had to wait for it. Can he find a target? Inside he goes. Great kick, great mark leading out Meadows. Good footy all round. And if Meadows can convert here as they get into it in the middle of the ground, Bailey Gordon didn't like some of the treatment. And they get into a bit of push and shove. All the while, Charlie Meadows has the footy. And if he converts, he can make this a 15-point ball game. Charlie Meadows, he'll kick from just inside 45 metres. Let's fly with the kick, and he's pretty happy with it, is Meadows. Electric footy from the Robins. And Meadows puts a ribbon on it. His first major of the afternoon. We're back to 15 points. Game on here at Thomson Oval. 10-5-65, plays 8-2-50. The Robins looking very good indeed. Their 5th goal of the quarter. And they've kicked 4 of the last 5. Let's see if this just kicks this Kingborough side into gear. Young in the middle, he's fought really hard. There'll be a Brighton Robins clearance here via Whitney. Out to half forward, knocked away. Everything's coming up Brighton at the moment. Inside 50 they go, through hands he's Bierman. He's been likely this afternoon. Going to fight hard, he's Griggs who sent a high ball towards the outer side. Over the top was Morgan, shoveling it forward by hook or by crook. They're just trying to get it moving forward. Jacoby Bone takes the footy, he's brought to ground. Just not easily conceding territory at the moment, Brighton. They were a little earlier, but they've tightened the screws. Hands and knees, and they come away with again here. Morgan, high up and under. Who can get underneath that one? Clifford with class to Lovell, his stablemate. Beautiful kick into the middle. A sure hand when required is Kieran Lovell. He made no mistake on that occasion, Stevenson, but I can't say the same about him, although they'll get away with it here. Clifford, a favourable bounce, patted it to himself, did really well to control it. Back to Stevenson, now Lockie Clifford. Poked a pass and saw the target out the corner of his eye, but it was broken up. Evans Fenton has to get onto his bike. Good tackle by Carter. He's brought down, he was a little slow. And that'll be all she wrote for his second term, and Evans Fenton probably just breathes a little sigh of relief because Tyler Carter was wheeling around and pumping that ball inside 50. Saved by the bell, the Robins, who owned the second term. They kicked the first goal via Max Lamb. Then it was goals to Kane and Ashland for the Tigers. Bierman struck back, and then it was Jet Knighton. And then the Robins kicked 4 of the next 5. Salter kicked his second, Saavedra kicked 1, Gardner and Meadows added to the tally. Kane kicked his second amongst that lot. The second term of this game well and truly belonged to the Brighton Robins. They trailed by 26 points at quarter time, and they trail by just 15 now at the main break. 10-5-65, the Tigers to Brighton's 8-2-50. The goal kickers for Kingborough, Kieran Lovell kicked 3, all in the first term. 2 to Henry Kane, singles to Carter, Doreen, Knighton, Brewer and Ashland. While for Brighton, 2 goals to Gardner, 2 goals to Salter, and singles to Lamb, Bierman, Saavedra and Charlie Meadows, who kicked the last goal of the term. See if we can't find some live scores for you from around the grounds. The game down at the Tip or Lauderdale Oval is the one that Kingborough supporters will be keeping an eye on this afternoon, because Glenorchy are the other team in the hunt for that 4th place on the SFL ladder. They're trailing Lauderdale at the moment, 8-5-53 the Bombers, Glenorchy 4-5-29. And Clarence have skipped out to a very handy 27-point advantage. They're 10-7-67 to North Hobart 6-4-40 at North Hobart Oval. But right here at Thompson Oval, probably the pick of the games today so far. 10-5-65 is Kingborough leading Brighton. 8-2-50, a 15-point ball game. Kingborough look to have things all their own way early, but the Robins tighten the screws in the second term. They trail by 15 points. Should be an entertaining second half. We'll have it for you very, very shortly. But for now, we're going to take a break from Thompson Oval, where Kingborough lead Brighton by 15. Up a little. Just sneak this in by Coda Varnish for Kingborough. Lovell still has 3, all kicked in the first term. Young shovels out a handball. Gardner on the end of it. Brushes a tackler. Gets onto the right boot. Sets sail for the instant response. That's what your guns. Who kick from just inside 45 metres. Let's fly with the kick, and he's pretty happy with it, is Meadows. Electric.
Wherever cancer is, we are. We are the supporters, preventers, researchers and advocates, leading Australia to a future without cancer. Every day, we're finding new and better ways to offer services, share knowledge, and bring hope to Australians everywhere, because cancer affects us all. We're here to listen and care for people, however they need us, whenever they need us, through any type of cancer at any stage of the journey. Every day, we are supporting world-class researchers, empowering them to dream big and make the impossible possible. Together, we're pushing boundaries, unlocking the answers to understand, prevent and treat cancer. We're improving the lives of those living with it and even getting close to eliminating some cancers altogether. You may not see us, but we're here, in schools and people's homes, on the beach, at work and on the streets, helping millions of Australians cut their risk and detect cancer sooner. We know that 1 in 3 cancers can be avoided, so we're out there preventing as many as we can. You may not hear us, but our voice is loud. Every day, we're using it to advocate, change laws and drive policies, to reduce cancer risks and improve cancer care, to break ground and speak for the community in places where they're not always heard. Every day, we're closer to a future without cancer. And as a charity, we rely on Australia's biggest hearts to help us get there faster.
Blundstone's been building hard-working boots for over 150 years. The tougher you need them, the tougher we build them, giving you advanced protection and all-day comfort. After all, you never stand still, so neither do we. Blundstone, building the future.
Oh, you mean the jam and cream? Good stuff.
Go! And one for you as well. Got it.
Original glazed. Classic.
At Banjo's, we speak donuts. Introducing our new range of flavours. Now there's one for everyone. Banjo's, making donuts better.
How good's Hawthorn, Jez? How good's Hotball going? Are you Hawthorn too?
loving how they turn them so quickly and they're too old and too slow in the paper. Before that, they was that good. They were signing them all up for another year. And you're better off going in the water. Cold water. Like in the river. Dog stuff over all the time, I think they do have very often.
Oh, I know. I think they have those. So many dogs. Look at them.
Yeah.
You should have seen them. There's like a corgi. It amazes me how their dogs actually listen to this shit.
Over there.
One can not listen to me. I have to work hard to get back to 2 days. Oh, she can't live in Melbourne. Yeah. Where's... God, Marty hasn't brought it back. How is it? Kane's videos of it. Yeah. Kane loves. Kane is the reason why I have living at my house. Steve, Zed, Con, Darvis. I like cats. I'm just gonna make it cat. It's my mum's cat. He took it from my mum's house. It's actually not my cat. So mum was like, oh yeah, you can have her. Because she really liked me making something. She loves Kane. So like, Kane had a soft spot for it. And then he took mum's cat. So my mum went over there and meow and I thought, yeah. It's old guys too. It's not 13 years old. Yeah, so I'm going to have to pay the vet bill when I've got to go to the vet.
Vet.
Yeah, like if you get sick.
Oh.
You reckon the vet's staying in Jess? After that election, it's completely done.
That's what they're going to do. Well, because they don't know who's winning. So what they will find out is who's actually active. So this is that formal agreement. You'll have to get at least 18 or 11 votes. No against it, so it's when you find out who's actually getting the work and wrong. You know what I mean?
Why are they against it?
They win votes. Because there's obviously a lot of people don't want it. You know, 20% of them, whatever it is. And that's how they get elected.
It's ridiculous. Like, the odds are ridiculous.
More than
Even
not,
I
got
think
Maiden.
yeah, now
They watch it, she thought we were going to win votes, and then they did win it, and then they turned around and said,
wasn't it the most longest vote out flavouring overall?
yeah.
So does that not saying something? I Googled it. I had to rally up so many people, educate them on who to vote for. That's my time.
Yeah, that dog shouldn't be there. Why didn't stop that? What about it? Kingborough is not.
Oh, you did? Great child.
Just lucky though.
She doesn't walk in the
Inside dogs, they stay in the car.
no, there's nothing for me to do right now. That's why I don't know about that.
No, I'm not joking, that's it. The bloke goes, that's the last lever.
Yeah. Oh, and then he wanted it, he said that he wanted it stabbed, and there was no. Well, parents don't have chips. We can't complain about their chips because they don't sell them.
I reckon whoever has the quicker one.
Well, we
Does that mean?
buy carrots because we don't want to support them. So David Anderson and I went for a walk down all the way to the bakery. The bakery too. He and Angus went for a walk. Carrots. No, they're alright. I find it quite boring. Like, I don't do anything. Bob fills up the water. I mean, I think I was then it just makes me look lazy because he's doing that and understanding it. And then I don't pass it to him when well, he didn't have a great start to his coaching career. Yep, exactly where he plays to go.
What do you want to do?
He's lost.
So you got setting up and I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's the first time I've filmed with this round. Yeah, it's a nice setup. The only problem is being in there, the signal cuts out completely, so I can't, because we live stream, I can't send the footage back live. So I have to be out to the side. Yeah, that's it. We just hope that doesn't happen.
Welcome back to Thompson Oval at Pontville. We've got a game in our hands between the hometown Brighton Robins and the visiting Kingborough Tigers. 26 points was the margin at quarter time, and it was all Kingborough at one stage, got out to 32 points, but Brighton have come to play in that second term. They kicked four of the last 5 goals in that second quarter to rein the margin into 15 points at the main break. And they played some very good football indeed. So what will this second half bring? Kingborough need to win this game. They are gunning for a spot in the finals. And they need to keep winning, with Glenorchy holding that spot in 4th. They can't afford to drop one to the winless Robins. They've showed plenty of pluck this afternoon, have the home team. Darcy Gardner been a shining light for the Robins this afternoon. He's kicked a couple of majors and been a bull through the midfield. They've had some good contributions too. Thomas Bierman, Fletcher Salter, David Monks has been good down back. Charlie Meadows in the ruck. For Kingborough, it was the Kieran Lovell show early on. He kicked 3 goals in that first term. Starting deep forward, as he will for this third quarter. Lockie Clifford was prominent. Mitch Brewer got plenty of the footy as well. But Brighton was able to tighten things up. Max Lamb's been pretty quiet, just the one major for him so far today. He kicked 6 last time these two teams met. I wonder what say he'll have on the second half. We are underway as Meadows flies in over the top. Hardwell's been pretty good as well. Shares it with Clifford, gets it back and can send Brighton to Kingborough, to half forward. But it's a good saving mark by Nuss. His kick had to be precise and it was good. It was really good to Morgan. Probably made it look a bit better than it was. But it's a nice mark, and this man's been pretty good as well as Cody Morgan. Tough operator. You heard the call, Charlie. And Charlie got there. Oh, he juggled it 3 times. He had 90% of it and then couldn't quite complete it. Goes in after it, fed out a handball. Clifford and then Gordon. Broken up inside 50 via the boot of Salter. Go the Robins. Off hands. Bierman comes through off his bootlaces and over for a ball in. So they've just been able to hold their own around the contest and restrict the Tigers from doing what they want to do. That matchup, Godomski and Lamb. Godomski's had the better of him so far, but here he is off the ruck tap. Gathers, gets away from Godomski. Lunging tackle brings him down. Forces the miss. It spills out of bounds. Just got some separation momentarily, did Lamb. But Godomski was good enough to bring him to earth. Good battle between those two. Ball in, deep in attack. Goal here to the Robins. Would be very interesting indeed. Palm down by Young. Gardner puts on the shimmy. Shares it by hand. Tremaine squaring ball. Wanted Morgan. Couldn't quite get there, but butted up really nicely. Evans Fenton had to handball to himself. Was he hung on to for a little long? No, the umpire said. Godomski flashing through handball. The ball in. This is good footy. It's been good footy throughout. Out of the ruck contest, straight down to Gordon, who slaps it on the boot. To a contest. Harnwell evades a tackler, gets some time and space and then puts it to a dangerous position. Lovell couldn't take the mark. That's a good win for Watkins. Brighton in possession. They share it. Here's Waller. Dabs the ball into the middle. It's a good one. Nuss takes the mark. Now he's got men in the middle of the ground. Morgan's been prominent early in this third term. They spread it further afield. Chance here to hit up a target. Not a bad kick, but knocked away. Good defensive work by Brereton. Over it goes for another ball in. Pretty tight and skinny, small ground this one, so lots of ball ins, and when you go through the middle, you can get home very, very quickly indeed. That's where Brighton have looked their best. Meadows out of the ruck. There's a whistle here. They might throw it in again. And it comes. Here's Clifford, reading it best. Sharing it with Harnwell. Onto that right boot, to a one-on-one. Lovell beautifully worked his man underneath it and then gathered the loose ball. Had time to try and spot a pass. His left foot ball wasn't much chop, but he's going to get it back here. Looking for his right boot. Sees a man in the pocket. It's a good kick and it's a good mark. So Lovell getting motoring. Ashland will kick for goal. 1-3 by my count this afternoon, Riley Ashland. It can get the Tigers off to a good start in this third term if he's able to kick truly here. Only the 30 metres out. He's pushed this to the right as well. So Riley Ashland, another chance goes begging for him. That's his 5th shot on goal. He's been only able to convert once, so he lets the Robins off the hook once again. So bring it in from fullback to a contest. Good mark taken. Meadows has been pretty good this afternoon, it has to be said. Into the middle they go. Whitney to the near side. Bounce had to be good. It was. Davey kicks to the pocket. Brereton got a hand in. Saavedra come flashing through. Lamb was there as well. He'll lay a tackle. Beerman's there as well. And they lock it in inside forward 50. Ball up. Young contests. Beerman at the fall. Carve himself a path. He's been pretty good today. Goal to his name. Shack palms it down into the path of a teammate in Flanagan. Just smacks it on the boot. Clears defensive 50. One-on-one battle happening out there. Brewer. Work it through hand here, the Tigers, but it may have come just unstuck. With the turning circles, Deverill. Still in possession here, the Robins. A little outside of the boot. Right foot ball, no good. Into the arms of Clifford. Slaps it on the boot up the line. Here's Lovell. Presenting and marking. Long way up the ground. Now he turns midfielder. Shimmies one way, then the other. Love it to Ashland once more. I wonder if Ashland will have another ping or maybe elect to pass this one off. He doesn't have the kicking boots on this afternoon. He's going to dab it to the Carter direction. Oh, over the back. Fortune certainly favours Parker. And it was pretty good defensive work from the Robins, but Parker in the right place at the right time gets the one over the back and kicks the steadying goal for the Tigers. The first of this third term, and Julian Parker's first of the afternoon. 11.672 go Kingborough. 8.250 Brighton out to a 22-point advantage. Back into the middle. It'll be Carter and Meadows. And tap down. Here's Morgan off the back of the square. To right half forward. Go the Robins. Over the top was Griggs. Down to ground. Beeman just knocked it on with the toe poker in the Whitney direction. And now coming away with it is Nuss. Inside 50. Bouncing ball. In contention. At ground level. Saavedra might have dropped the knees. Good tackle laid. Legal tackle made. All locked up. So can they get the reply? They were able to do so on multiple occasions in that second term. Knocked out to Clifford. He's had a stack of it this afternoon. Oh, big fly over the top. Ashland from too deep. Juggled it down on the second bite. Good mark indeed. Riley Ashland, the kick's a nice one too. Picks out a target. Now Brewer comes cruising past into Lovell. Ripped off the footy. No free kick. Tigers still alive. Harnwell gets it back. Dabs one inside 50 and it's on target. And that's better. Watt goes into the pocket and they were lining up. Were the Tigers. And this will be Knighton. So the Tigers were able to kick back-to-back goals to start off the second. Can they replicate that feat at the start of the third? Not quite, not yet. It's a minor score only. So Knighton's had a couple of sniffs at it this afternoon. He has the one to his name. Able to add a second on this occasion. Now to fullback come Brighton. They've been able to work it pretty well this afternoon. Watkins takes the mark. He's had the job on Lovell. Lovell's had the better of him, but he's had a couple of wins. Two Robins players contest the ball, but it'll come down in the arms of Bierman, who's been pretty impressive this afternoon. I've enjoyed his game. Up the line he goes. Looking for Young. Gets to the front. Knocked away. They work it through hands. Gardner fakes one way and then goes back to Evans Fenton eventually. Gets onto his left. Work to do here for Saavedra. Made a contest of it. Brought it to ground. Brezenshak comes away with the footy. In a little bit of trouble. Good tackle laid. Might have been in the back. Umpire said no. Saavedra now bouncing ball towards goal. Good one-on-one. Lamb. Godomski. Lamb got his kick away just, but Godomski did enough. That's been a ripping battle all afternoon. Godomski's worn Lamb like a glove. And any sniff that Lamb has had has been quickly snuffed out by Godomski. Just the one major, the Robins leading goal kicker so far this year. He kicked 6 on them last time, so they'll be extra wary of him. And that's a high tackle. So this will be a shot on goal here for Brighton. So to bring this margin back to 17 points, Bierman again. So he was among the goal kickers for the Robins in that second term. Love a second here. Deliberate approach beam and just tried to guide it. Drifting across the face, a minor score. But they continue to press to the Robins. So now Kieran Lovell's taking kickouts. He's looking for Arnwell, and it was a good choice because he flew in from the side and took a really good mark, and then they get things moving eventually. Brewer ripped to the ground. His handball went to a contest and they lock it up. Brewer felt the full force of that tackle. Takes a few moments to get up. Brighton have hit him pretty hard today. Certainly not had it all their own way. Here's Harnwell again. Round the corner. Bounces over the head of Lovell, who continues to track it. Getting back Williams, though, for the Robins. Shares it with Morgan, who's just patrolled that half-back line pretty well this afternoon. Goes out wide. Whitney gets a kind bounce. Now cuts the ball into the middle. Morgan wanted to be on the end of it. Here's Brewer going in after it. Tremaine on hands and knees. Harnwell now. They find a man on the outside. Getting on the end of it was Knighton. And the spear pass to Ashland was good. He's taken 3 or 4 marks inside 50. He's had 4 or 5 shots on goal. And he hasn't quite been able to cash in Riley Ashland. Just the one major. Done himself out of a bag today. But there's still time. This would be just about the toughest of the lot of them. Watch him put it through. Umpire barely moves. Riley Ashland dabs it from 45 out. Gets his second. And it hasn't been for lack of trying. And the Tigers do eventually get the first 2 of the third term. Ashland has 2. And they stretch this margin out to 28. 12-7, 79. Plays 8-3, 51. And last time these two teams met, it was really competitive for a half. Brighton trailed by 2 points at half-time. And then the Tigers really pumped the gas and ended up breaking their back in the second half. Let's see if the Robins have learned anything. Oh, Tremaine, he had his arm ripped and somehow got a handball away. He's very lucky to get away with that. That's another strong tackle laid in the middle of the ground. Back to where we started. Through. That was really nicely done by Lewis Johnston. Inside 50 now, go the Robins. One-on-one contest. Saavedra at the front. Brought it down. Handball just missed the target. Goes in back after it, does Brereton. Spied something up the corner of his eye, went in that direction. Brighton defenders get back in numbers. They're not out of jail yet, though. They fumble around with it a little bit by hand, and now it's the Tigers' turn. Ashland with the handball. Oh, Knighton was absolutely smashed by Monks. Ball up, left half forward. Meadows, Gardner, pounces on the loose footy, nowhere to go, so just has to pump it onto the right boot. It works out really well. They move it by hand. Here's Morgan, been impressive. Up the line he goes to a 2-on-1. Young has to contest, just palmed it down with the one hand. Did he keep it in? No. Would have been really nice if he did. Couldn't quite complete the play. Ball in, right half forward. Brighton yet to get on the board in this third term. I'd love a snag. Been in touch all day. Here comes Young. Good ruck work over the top, but Clifford was there to break it up. Cuts himself a little bit of a path and then kicks it out to a one-on-one to the advantage of Doreen. A goal kicker in this game. His kick, not much good. Monks gets in front, takes the mark, gets on his bike. He spies something up the line. Tremaine's worked himself into the game, been pretty good. Spearing ball is good. Speaking of pretty good, Morgan's been prominent. Oh, that's not his best though. A looping handball to Gardner made him wait. Gardner good enough to go and find it. Shares it with a teammate. Now he just does a full 360 and goes inside 50. Lamb the target over the back. Lovell's there. He's having some trouble picking it up. Lamb, he's been set upon again. He's had not much room to move this afternoon, it has to be said. Ooh, with more time than he thought was Wouters. He's turned it over. Flying shot on goal. Sprays off the side of the boot. Big fly attempt, no good. Knocked over eventually. That'll be a ball in. Lights are on here at Brighton. Dark skies overhead. Taken out of the ruck by Bresenschak, nicely done. Handball to the advantage of a teammate, unable to get a handle on it. Here's Lovell, so prominent. He's going to go across goal, risky sort of a ball. Put his teammate under a whole heap of pressure, but Parker was good enough to come away with the footy in the end, and not only that, he was able to hit a target. Brereton, right half back. Players lining up in the middle. Bresenschak's one of them. Takes the mark, back of the square. Here's Lovell at half back now. 3 in the first term for him. Gone onto the ball. Doesn't usually waste a disposal. On this occasion, no different. Clifford to Clifford here. Here's Lockie. Has to thread the needle, almost did. It'll be a free kick anyway. Stevenson. Did enough to earn himself a freebie. So if he elects to kick for goal, he'll do so from about 50 metres out. Well, the 50-metre line, I'm not sure if it's a true 50 metres, but we'll call it 50 for now. It's just inside the line, fading across the face. Oh, great mark taken deep. So Ashland he's done a little bit of everything this afternoon as Riley Ashland. He's going to get bang for his buck eventually. That's the last 2 goals of the afternoon to him. And now all of a sudden he has 3. And the Tigers stretched this margin out. It's been one-way traffic on the scoreboard in this third term. It was a 15-point half-time deficit to Brighton. But now the Tigers have pulled away 13-7-85. Has 8-3-51. We're out to 34 points. That's a game-high margin. And the Robins will be hoping that the fate that they suffered last time will not be the same as they do this time. It's a 62-point margin on that occasion after trailing by just 2 at half-time. Let's see if they've got any steam left in the engine. Kingborough with all 3 goals of this third term so far. We're out by 34 points in the middle of the ground here. Good tackle laid by Hayden. Kick here. Bresenschak uses Lovell, he uses Clifford, he uses the other Clifford. Short ball inside 50, and now they're just starting to really string some pieces of play together here, the Tigers. Julian Parker takes the mark at left half forward and kicked the first goal of this term. Man on short if you wanted him, but looks pretty deliberate in his approach here. Does Parker see what he's got? From right on the paint. Looks pretty good off the boot. Won't quite make the distance. Eventually rolls over for a minor score. Margin at 35 now. And it comes out of full back. Slightly awkward ball for Howard, but he did well enough to take the mark. Moves it to the outer side, up to a contest. Oh, good mark from Meadows, who's stood really tall this afternoon for Brighton. Gets it moving quickly. Hayden getting back, got hands to it, brought it to ground. Lamb arrives first, but unable to win himself a disposal. Over it goes, a ball in. Been very, very well held this afternoon has Lamb by Godomski. Been a very, very good defender for a long time. Over it comes, Young. Here is Lamb. Can he get on the board? Wonderful, wonderful finish. Beautifully read. Beautifully finished. He kicks his second of the afternoon and gets one back on his opponent, who has held him very, very tightly all day. And they needed that one. Did the Robins, there's no doubt about that. Margin had got out to 35, we're back to 29. 13-8-86, plays 9-3-57. Matt Slam kicks his second. Brighton's leading goal kicker for the season. It's his 25th goal of the year. Back in the middle we go. Brewer had to be tough and brave and was. Collected it cleanly. Equally skillful. They move it by hand inside forward 50. The Tigers, Archie Watt, and then the tackle was laid. Very casually, here's Watkins. Moves his way out of defensive 50. Comes the ball out of D50. Hayden at the fall. Morgan pops it over the top. Gave Beerman a little bit of a job, and Gardner. Coming through was Lewis Johnson. Good handball. Cutting a path is Waller. Good pressure applied though. Brewer was there, as was Joey Brewer. Here's Mitch Brewer. Tumbles one around the corner through the hands of Harnwell. Williams just smashes it forward. Off hands. Clifford just raises the arms. Finds a man on the outside in Bresnanshack. His kick is pretty sloppy. Williams comes crashing through. Couldn't win a clean possession. Harnwell could. Out to Clifford now. Into the middle. Now they can pump it forward. Monk's well placed, and he's done that all day. David Monks, he's may have even been their best this afternoon. Well, that's not much of a kick. Under pressure now is, under real pressure now is Whitney. In the trenches. They win the day though. Do the Robins. Away they come. Kick up the line and are unable to be controlled by Beerman. And it's over for a ball in right in front of the benches. Here's Paul Kennedy. Robins coach tosses the ball back, gets a touch. Comes over the back, all comers. Gordon inside 50. Lovell, oh my goodness. Well, he was held, he was scragged, he was out of position. But it meant very, very little to Kieran Lovell. He just stuck out the one juke and reeled it in with ease. What a game he's had. He'll line up for a fourth. So Kieran Lovell, 3 goals, all in the first term. Can add a fourth to his tally. It was never in too much doubt. What a gun, what a start. And the Tigers hit back via the very accurate boot of Kieran Lovell, who kicks his 4th major of the afternoon. He's played deep forward this afternoon. He's been taking kick-outs. He's attended some centre bounces. He's been the old-fashioned utility. 14-8-92 go Kingborough to Brighton's 9-3-57. Back out to a 35-point advantage. Equal game high. They've owned this third term, 4 goals to 1 so far. Can they add another? Harnwell, Gordon, crunched by Gardner. They scrag in after it, middle of the ground. Here's Lovell, right on the bullseye. Kicks it out wide to Carter, who takes it on the bounce, feeds it back, spearing ball. Ooh. Into the hands of Lewis Johnston, but he couldn't quite complete the mark. They'll get away with it though, the Robins. Kicking up the line and intercepting really well is Stevenson. Gets across and proves himself a nuisance. Inboard to Harnwell, who's been really, really good today. Kick to half forward. Couldn't quite find a target. Fighting after it though. Brought to a stop. And the ball up. Young and Brescinchat contest. Harnwell, another disposal. Out to Lovell, who just raises the arms, sells 1, then 2, and then with class around the body to Carter. How many times would those two have connected over the years? Lovell to Carter. We've been pretty quiet on the goal-kicking front this afternoon, as big Tyler Carter, it has to be said. Just the 1 to his name. Kicked 5 last time these two teams met at the Twin Ovals earlier in the season. Getting out a second here, lays the slipper in. It was low, it was hard, and it was enough. So the Tigers just starting to purr now in this third term. Big Tyler Carter gets his 2nd of the afternoon. And that means he goes to 34 goals for the season. Good for 3rd overall on the league goal-kicking tally. 5 goals to 1 in this 3rd term now. And it's a game high, 41-point lead. 15-8-98 plays 9-3-57. What have the Robins got? Have they got a response here? Clifford was stripped. And they're starting to really get busy in the middle now. Are the Tigers primary movers? Lovell is one of those. He's at right half forward, skims 1 to Stevenson. Here's Carter again on the bounce. Didn't quite sit for him, but he went really low and got 1 really high. So Tyler Carter, can he kick back-to-back goals here? The big fella. He earns himself a free kick. Maybe went to ground a little easily for a man of his size as the siren sounds. Stabs at it with that unique kicking action. He's missing to the near side on this occasion. A minor score, but it was one-way traffic in that 3rd term. 15-9-99, the Tigers lead Brighton 9-3-57. 5 goals to 1, 3rd quarter. Means a 42-point margin. The goal kickers for you, before we take a very short break. For Kingborough, Kieran Lovell, he has 4. Riley Ashland has 3. 2 to Carter, 2 to Kane, and singles to Doreen, Knighton, Brewer and Parker. While for Brighton, just the 1 major in that 3rd term after booting 5 in the 2nd. Make that 6, sorry. And it came via the boot of Lamb, who has 2 for the afternoon. 2 to Salter, 2 to Gardner, and singles to Meadows, Saavedra and Bierman. It is Kingborough by 42 points here at Thompson Oval. They've increased their lead from half-time, which was 15, and they are in control as we turn for home. We'll take a very short break and be back in a few moments' time. Umpire barely moves. Riley Ashland tapping this afternoon is Riley Ashland. He's going to get bang for his buck eventually. That's a very good defender for a long time. Young. Here is Lamb. Can he get on the board? Wonderful, wonderful finish. 3 goals all in the first term. Now to 4th to his tally. It was never in too much doubt. Earlier in the season. Now the second here, lays the slipper in. It was low, it was hard, and it was enough. Almost all set to go as we turn for home here at Thompson Oval at Brighton, where the Kingborough Tigers hold a 42-point advantage going into this fourth and final term. 5 goals to 1 in that third term. They've broken this game apart. They led by just 15 at half-time after a 6-goal to 4 second term from the Brighton Robins. Gave the Tigers a real fright, but they clicked into gear in that third term. But maybe the Robins have something left still to give. They're in the huddle for a long time with Coach Paul Kennedy. I'm sure he'll be hoping that they don't let this get too ugly. Out of the middle we go. First foray forward will come via Tremaine. Coming out hard was Lamb, attacking it as always. It fell into the lap of Brewer, taken to ground. Started like a house on fire, did Mitch Brewer. Been pretty good throughout, mind you. But that first term was scintillating from him. The guns in this Kingborough team. Out of the congestion it comes. Saavedra got hands to it, gathered, spun, and the little outside of the boot right footer was really good to Lamb. It wasn't the required. Maybe a little bit unlucky. Umpire said play on. Tigers will come away with it. Nice kick out of D50 onto the chest of Clifford. He's got a man running shotgun. He uses him. Parker got himself on the goal kickers list in that third term. Pokes the ball inside. Brewer's all on his own. He elected to cut inside. Evans Fenham almost got him. Into the middle of the ground he goes. Good kick to Griggs. Touch ball off the boot. Going forward and attacking it with real vigour was Watkins. He shared it with Gardner. Now it goes out to Tremaine. Moves it another 25 metres to Saavedra at right half forward. High ball, and Lamb just had to wait underneath it. Did so and took the chest mark. He can have a set shot for goal here, a really tight angle, but he is skillful enough. Maybe just lost in the handover there. Godomski's worn him like a glove all afternoon. But on that occasion, it was Flanagan with the task. See what Lamb has for a third. Improves the angle, gets onto the left. It'll be across the face. There's a free kick here. It's going to go the way of Jacob Young, who's battled really manfully in the ruck throughout. Yet to kick a goal. So far today, he's a second leading goal kicker for Brighton. He has 16 on the season. He pops this one through. So he gets his name on the goal kickers list, and Brighton get a little win to start this fourth term, the first of the term. Back to an even 6 goals. So Young gets his first, 15-9-99, plays 10-3-63. 36 points the margin. Got some other scores for you momentarily. Here's Clifford out of the middle. Time for a bounce. A little enthusiastic. Had to break a tackle, but was strong enough to do so. Kick smothered here. Ball goes in after it. Meadows hassled him out of the footy. Brereton goes back in. Fight in after it. Tumbling ball out towards the near side. Just eluded Evans Fenton at the last minute. Eventually gathered. Forward handball was pretty good. Kane just was knocked off it by Williams over the ball. Neither of them have it, but they tackle each other anyway. Over the boundary it goes eventually via Nathan Nuss. So Lauderdale's continue to lead Glenorchy 10-9-69 to 5-7-37 down at Lauderdale, and Clarence have kicked away on North Hobart 14-11-95. Plays 9-4-58 at North Hobart Oval. The Roos winning there. Here's Brewer, just shakes a couple. Lets fly on goal, but missing to the near side. Didn't register. Watkins picks it up quickly. Oh, that was very, very dangerous. Gave it straight to the one man in all of Tasmanian football you don't want to give it to. Kieran Lovell flew across and said, thank you very much. He can line up for a 5th major here, can Kieran Lovell. Well within range. Angle the only real difficulty. Set sail on goal. Just nursed the kick on the top of the square and it wasn't really much of an effort at all in the end. Knocked over for a minor score, so the Robins get out of dodge. So Darcy Gardner with the kicking duties. Spies something he likes out wide. Waller. So Waller pumps one in the middle of the ground. What a kick. Great find. Morgan on the end of this. He goes laterally. Lewis Johnston runs his full measure and goes by hand to Gardner, who had it at full back a few moments ago. Inside 50 they go. Here's Bailey. Bounces one on goal. Over for a ball in. Someone's got the big hog rumbling on the other side of the ground. Here's Hayden. Snap on goal. Looked okay off the boot, but missing to the near side. A minor score. Only goal of the final term so far. There's Brighton. Trail by 36. And it's a Kingborough ball. At left half back. Up the line it goes. Ashland, who's been pretty good this afternoon, could have had 6 or 7 if he kicked accurately. But I reckon he'll take 3. Ball in. Between wing and half forward. Eventually it spills out. Bresenchak. His handball broken up by Gardner. Slapped forward. Tumbling ball. Inside 50. As that hog just screams up the road towards Brighton. Here's Brady Hayden. Nice pass. So Young on the charge. Takes it in the midst and he can kick his 2nd of the term here and Brighton's 2nd. And just cut the margin back to 5 goals. And in modern footy, 5 goals isn't a hell of a lot. So you never know. No problems. Jacob Young, back-to-back goals for him. Takes his yearly tally to 18. Takes Brighton's tally to 11. 11,470 to be precise. Back to 30 points. 15, 10, 100 the Tigers, early stages of this 4th and final term. So they haven't allowed Kingborough to come out and have things all their own way in this 4th and final stanza and run all over them. Kicked the first 2, brought the margin back to a somewhat manageable 30 points. If they get another one here, who knows? There's Lovell. Just wiggles the hips and then puts one out in front of a teammate into Ring. Good pressure applied, forced the ball high up in the air. Nuss gets a fist to it and kills the footy. Launched in by the boundary umpire. Brewer, Classy, gathered, Lovell, outside of the right, Williams. Good kick, had to be good too. Gardner, around the body he goes. Trains out wide. Good kick up the line, but good defensive work. Tigers not out of the woods yet. They fight in after it. Bailey's there. Clifford sees it over. Nice little gathering up on the balcony there outside the club rooms. Watching things unfold. Could they witness an unlikely Brighton comeback? All the way to the teeth of goal here. Can Young get hands to it and maybe kick a third? No, he brings it to ground though. Still alive here. Bierman gets it out to Bailey, who snaps and goals. And there's a pulse here for the Robins. 3 in a row to start this fourth and final quarter. Back to 24 points. Intriguing. So the coach, Paul Kennedy, had the boys in at the huddle for quite some time at that three-quarter time break, and maybe the extra couple of minutes has just helped to fire things up a little bit. I wonder how Trent Bournemouth's feeling in the Kingborough box. 24 points the margin. Gee, another one here would be very interesting indeed. Lewis Johnston shares it with Tremaine, gets it back to half forward. Off target, had a bounce on the full. Winless so far this season, Brighton, but you wouldn't really know it the way they've played today. They've been pretty good against a Kingborough team that has some real firepower. They haven't had the season they would have liked, the Tigers, but they have some big names. Tremaine, who's been really busy in this second half, kicks it towards half forward. Loose ball here. Flying shot on goal. Left foot ball all the way to the teeth. Young's there. It's still alive. Who can get on the end of it? Bierman just overrun the footy, but then goes in and applies the pressure on Brereton. Clifford fighting hard. Brereton at ground level. They lock it in here, the Robins. Young, been big, just guides it down onto his boot. Here's Lamb, tackled by Godomski. We've called that a couple of times this afternoon. Tigers can work it out of defence. Standing his ground and doing it well with Riley Davey. Davey pumps it in. Top of the square. Couple of flyers over the top. It was Tyron Bailey again. Couldn't quite squeeze it through. Would have been something. Back to 23 points. Here's Brezinchak. Gives it to Lovell. Sure set of hands. He makes good use of the footy. So work it up the outer side of the Tigers. Here's Bailey Gordon providing run, but he has to backtrack to Brewer. Didn't have much ahead of the ball. Brewer comes off his line and now sends one towards half forward. Good mark indeed. Charlie Meadows, who stood up on a couple of occasions this afternoon, goes back into the D50. Waller takes the mark. And now he comes across to Bone. So the use here has to be good. It's good enough. Williams by hand. Evans Fenton. Short ball up the line. Neat footy here from the Robins. Howard takes the mark. Next one's important. He's going to go up the line and play it safe. The left half forward. Who can take a mark? Off hands. Over. And they'll probably take that, the Robins. So 23 points. Brighton in the hunt. The Tigers haven't quite killed this off yet. Next goal make things very, very, very interesting. Kieran Lovell, been a warrior all day. So is this man, Lockie Clifford. They use it well and they get on the move here. Lovell with the fake inside, almost ripped down. Gets his kick away. Carter. He's been fairly well held. Not his finest effort inside 50, but they're going to walk this in here, the Tigers. And they get a very, very much needed goal. Knighton gets his second. And has the resistance been broken? How quickly things can shift. They moved that with ease through the middle of the ground and the seas parted. But it was Lovell and it was Clifford and it was Carter, all involved. Knighton gets the rewards, a second goal. Margin back out to 29. Meadows slaps it over the top. Tremaine gets good purchase inside 50. The Robins just bounced off the chest of Saavedra. He helps apply a tackle. Brings it to ground. Here's Gardner. Battled really hard all afternoon. Morgan, high ball, awkward ball. Good mark taken by Stevenson. Gets things moving to Knighton, who's been really handy this afternoon. Kick inside 50. Tigers looking dangerous here. Kane needs the sit. Well, he got one, and then it was broken up really well by Jacoby Bone. Had the man out wide in a one-on-one. Did really well, did Tremaine on Clifford. Got his kick away and found a man in some space. Howard to right half forward. Tried to lace out the pass. Couldn't quite hit the target. Tigers defenders working hard. Out in front of Lovell now. Gets the bounce. Puts the brakes on. Back to Clifford. Pokes one up to Kane. Knocked away from him. Salter tried to shovel a handball up. It's over and out. Smashed forward by Meadows. There's Gordon though for the Tigers. And a man on the near side. Doreen into the pocket. Oh, had to be brave. Did Knighton. It's just over his head though. Slapped out of the danger area. Evans Fenton just diced with danger momentarily, but good enough to get it to Morgan, who's been prominent. To half forward now for the Robins. Still fighting hard. Someone lost a boot. Clifford, the 1-2. Puts it out in front of Stevenson. Nice ball. Got the short ball in Knighton. If he wanted it, he ignored him. He's going to go a little longer in the Ashland direction. Monks was underneath it. Ashland got out the back though. Took it on the bounce. Tried to spear it into Carter. Underground ball taken by Lovell. Oh, Carter with the candy and then rolled it through. Carter took him to the candy shop and then just dribbled one home. And that will probably spell the end of the entertaining resistance put up by the Robins as Tyler Carter bangs home a third for the afternoon. And goal number 40 for the season. Margin extends back out to 35 points. So into the middle, towards half forward for the Tigers. Williams has been a good soldier this afternoon. So is Evans Fenton. Kicks to a contest. Bailey the target over his head. Tigers with the numbers. They'll work it out eventually. Griggs stepped out of bounds. Umpire was right there. He had a better view than I did. Off hands. Work it by hand. Nuss now. Slapped it on the boot. It's a little unlucky because it fell straight into the lap of Gordon. Here's Clifford dashing through. Carter's on the move. Just nudged underneath the footy. Umpire said play on. Nuss gets back. And he's nudged off it. Handball to green grass. Kane was there. Here's Jacoby Bone. Just hangs it up in the air. It was always dangerous. Gordon was lurking and was the taller man in the contest. Was able to reach up and take the mark. And some okay things, Jacoby Bone, but just lacked a bit of touch on that occasion. Gordon might fancy himself here. He'll have to set sail from outside the paint if he's to make the journey. He plays on, tries to help himself to some extra distance. Big fly at the back, unable to be taken. Gardner comes through, gathered it cleanly, got it to a teammate. They clear the ball here off the last line. Beerman had to stand his ground, and he did. Got the ball and then gave it to Morgan. Turned around, kicked it to a contest. It almost worked out. He made a pretty good fist of it, did Saavedra. Went and gathered his own stuff and then was caught in a really, really good tackle. Forced the incorrect disposal. And the Tigers win themselves a free kick. Goes in Shaq. Couldn't quite juggle it down. Nuss. Got it to Lewis Johnston. Fletcher Salter just took a little too long. Was mown down from behind. Good tackle applied by Brewer. Wins himself a free kick. Thumps it inside 50. With the numbers though. Charlie Meadow, well, I thought he marked that. Umpire disagreed. Tyler Carter was there and ready to rip it out of his arms. Umpire said, I'll have it. Carter and Meadows contest the ruck. Morgan's battled extremely hard all afternoon. One-on-one contest here. Evans Fenton kept his feet. And it was important that he did, because he gathered the footy on the bounce and then laced out a pass. Brady Hayden got a man in some space, working hard. It was Nuss. He can send Brighton inside 50 now. Skimming ball. Lamb was at the back. Couldn't quite get down low enough, but now he applies a really good tackle. Wonderful follow-up. Very unlucky not to be rewarded. They get out of jail only just to the Tigers. Brewer now. To Brewer. Inboard. Brereton hands it back. Looks laterally. Man all on his own in Stevenson. On the near wing. Short ball. He's Harnwell. Neat kick. Good pass. Doreen. Kicked one earlier on in the afternoon, did Doreen, back in the first term. He earned himself a second. Thought Max Lamb was very unlucky not to be rewarded a few moments ago. Sprays this way out of bounds. There was a man there. In fact, it stays in. Not for long. Ball in. Meadows. Monks. Well worked by hand. Here's Waller. Into the middle of the ground. To no one in particular who backed the speed of Saavedra. Kept his feet, and then he didn't. Over he goes. Managed to get it out to Lewis Johnston. Tigers apply pressure. Brewer's there again. He must have had 30 or 35 this afternoon, I reckon. Here's the other Brewer. Takes a bounce. Runs to 55. Kicks into the pocket. Carter's there. At the back. Stayed down. Got it onto his boot. And he has 4. The most unassuming 4-pack you'll ever see from Tyler Carter. But 4 all the same. And that will just about be all she wrote here at Thompson Oval. 18-10. 118 to 12.5.57. The back of Brighton has been broken. So they kicked the last three to get this back to a 41-point advantage to the Tigers. It comes courtesy of Tyler Carter, his fourth major. Streaming away here is Whitney. Low burner. Beautifully picked up by Saavedra. He's done some nice things today. Missed the handball to Hayden. Has to go back and find it. Now he's got a couple of Tigers of defenders to contend with. One of them was Wouters. Brought to ground. Right half forward. Deep into this fourth and final term. They'll take care of business here today with the Tigers and do exactly what they needed to do as they eye that fourth place finish off. So their next two are against North Hobart and Lauderdale. So the game against North Hobart will be very, very interesting indeed, as will the game against Lauderdale. Into the pocket now. Griggs comes through, managed to get a handball up. Nice bit of evasive work here. Now the near wing, Lovell over his head. Nass. Been pretty tidy today as Nass. Tremaine's worked his way into the game and had a good second half. Going to be a 50-metre penalty here, I think, for Tremaine. There is some yelling and shouting going on and some protesting. Tremaine was going to be marched 50 metres upfield. I wonder if it might bring him within range. It may well. So, can Tremaine get himself a late consolation and cap off what's been a pretty handy second half? Jack Tremaine lays the slipper in. It won't be a goal. Didn't fly over the back. Brought down or at ground level. Still alive here. Kicked straight into the boot of Brady Hayden. Did it fly off and out on the full? No. Ball in the right forward pocket for the Robins. So North Hobart and Lauderdale, their next two to finish off the season. Kick out of the congestion. And I think it was Meadows. One of their best. So they get one back late into the Robins. As Meadows gets his second of the afternoon. $35 points, the margin, and it sort of hovered around there most of the day. 26 at quarter time, 15 at half time. They got out to 42 at three-quarter time. Back to 35 now. Bailey Gordon been pretty good today as well. Their big primary movers out of the middle of the ground. Waller. Whitney up the line for Bailey. Passed on that like a cat to Griggs. Harnwell, Gordon. Spearing ball. Tremaine got hands to it. Tried to just paddle it down to himself. Nuss off the line. Gathered it and kicked it forward. Meadows was brought down in the contest. Nothing doing, said the umpire. In the middle of the ground. Somewhat fortuitous. Wouldn't another touch. Kicks to right half forward. Beautifully weighted to Clifford. He's got Ashland streaming inside 50. Might Might just semi-fancy himself from here, Lockie Clifford. Had Lovell on a lead. Oh, he goes and sells the dummy. He telegraphed it. Gets himself within range. He's offline. It's right to the line. And brought down. $35 points the margin here. Dying embers. Young out of the ruck. Thumps it. Stevenson. There is the siren. So Kingborough will win this game handily. Final margin TBC as Roy Stevenson goes back. Will either be a 35-point game, a 36-point game, or a 41-point game. Stevenson sets sail, doesn't make the distance, and the margin will remain at 35 points. Kingborough were challenged throughout this afternoon by a Brighton side that showed plenty of pluck here at Thomson Oval, searching for their first win of the season. But the Kingborough Tigers and the star power that they hold was simply too much. 26 points at quarter time, 15 points at half time, then 42 points at three-quarter time. Eventually it settled into a 35-point victory for the Kingborough Tigers, who took care of business in that search for a fourth-place finish. The goal kickers, Kieran Lovell was electric all afternoon. He kicked 3 in the first term and then added another for 4. Tyler Carter kicked 4 goals from probably 6 or 7 kicks, I reckon. But 4 goals all the same. Riley Ashland missed out on a bag, but he ended up with 3. Jet Knighton kicked 2, and it was singles to Darcy Doreen, Joey Brewer and Julian Parker. Henry Kane also kicked 2 goals for the Tigers. While for Brighton, it was 2 to Salter, 2 to Lamb, 2 to Gardner, 2 to Meadows, 1 to Bailey, Young, Saavedra and Bierman. In fact, Young kicked 2 goals, both coming in that final term. So they battled with dignity, did Brighton. They went down graciously, and they were very gallant in defeat. But in the end, it was Kingborough too good. They ran out 35-point winners, 18-10, 118 to Brighton's 13-5, 83. An entertaining contest here at Thomson Oval. It's going to be all she wrote, though, from here at Brighton as the players shake hands and make their way off the field. It's Kingborough, 35-point winners over Brighton. Round 14, Southern Football League Premier Division action. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Bye for now.